ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀਓ। ਧਨਾਸਰੀ ਮਹੱਲਾ ਪਹਿਲਾ। ਘਰ ਦੂਜਾ ਅਸ਼ਟਪਦੀਆਂ। ਏਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ। ਗੁਰ ਸਾਗਰ ਰਤਨੀ ਭਰਪੂਰੇ। ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸੰਤ ਚੁਗਹਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੂਰੇ। ਹਰ ਰਸ ਚੋਗ ਚੁਗਹਿ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਭਾਵੈ। ਸਰਵਰ ਮੈਂ ਹੰਸ ਪ੍ਰਾਨ ਪਤ ਪਾਵੈ। ਕਿਆ ਬਗ ਬਪੜਾ ਛਪੜੀ ਨਹਾਇ। ਕੀਚੜ ਡੂਬੈ ਮੈਲ ਨਾ ਜਾਏ ਰਹਾਉ। ਰਖ ਰਖ ਚਰਨ ਤਰੇ ਵਿਚਾਰੀ। ਦੁਬਦਾ ਛੋੜ ਭੇ ਨਿਰੰਕਾਰੀ। ਮੁਕਤ ਪਦਾਰਥ ਹਰ ਰਸ ਚਾਖੇ। ਆਵਣ ਜਾਣ ਰਹੇ ਗੁਰ ਰਾਖੇ। ਸਰਵਰ ਹੰਸਾ ਛੋੜ ਨਾ ਜਾਏ। ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਭਗਤ ਕਰ ਸਹਿਜ ਸਮਾਏ। ਸਰਵਰ ਮੈਂ ਹੰਸ ਹੰਸ ਮੈਂ ਸਾਗਰ। ਆਕਥ ਕਥਾ ਗੁਰ ਬਚਨੀ ਆਦਰ। ਸੁਨ ਮੰਡਲ ਇੱਕ ਜੋਗੀ ਬੈਸੇ। ਨਾਰ ਨਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਕਹੋ ਕਉ ਕੈਸੇ। ਤ੍ਰਿਭਵਨ ਜੋਤ ਰਹੇ ਲਿਵ ਲਾਈ। ਸੁਰ ਨਰ ਨਾਥ ਸੱਚੇ ਸ਼ਰਨਾਈ। ਆਨੰਦ ਮੂਲ ਅਨਾਥ ਆਧਾਰੀ। ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਭਗਤ ਸਹਿਜ ਵਿਚਾਰੀ। ਭਗਤ ਵਛਲ ਭੈ ਕਾਟਨ ਹਾਰੇ। ਹਉਮੈ ਮਾਰ ਮਿਲੇ ਪਗ ਧਾਰੇ। ਅਨਿਕ ਜਤਨ ਕਰ ਕਾਲ ਸੰਤਾਏ। ਮਰਨ ਲਿਖਾਏ ਮੰਡਲ ਮਹਿ ਆਏ। ਜਨਮ ਪਦਾਰਥ ਦੁਬਦਾ ਖੋਵੈ। ਆਪ ਨਾ ਚੀਨਸ ਭ੍ਰਮ ਭ੍ਰਮ ਰੋਵੈ। ਕਹਿਤੋ ਪੜਤੋ ਸੁਣਤੋ ਏਕ। ਧੀਰਜ ਧਰਮ ਧਰਣੀ ਧਰ ਟੇਕ। ਜਤ ਸਤ ਸੰਜਮ ਹਿਰਦੈ ਸਮਾਏ। ਚੌਥੇ ਪਦ ਕਉ ਜੇ ਮਨ ਪਤਿਆਏ। ਸਾਚੇ ਨਿਰਮਲ ਮੈਲ ਨਾ ਲਾਗੈ। ਗੁਰ ਕੈ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਭਰਮ ਭਉ ਭਾਗੈ। ਸੂਰਤ ਮੂਰਤ ਆਦਿ ਅਨੂਪ। ਨਾਨਕ ਜਾਂਚੈ ਸਾਚ ਸਰੂਪ। ਸੂਰਤ ਮੂਰਤ ਆਦਿ ਅਨੂਪ। ਨਾਨਕ ਸਾਚੈ ਸਾਚ ਸਰੂਪ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, today's ਪਾਵਨ ਪਿੱਤਰ ਹੁਕਮਨਾਮਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ is blessed to us by ਧੰਨਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਧੰਨ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ Satguru Ji Garib Nawaz Ji Padshah has blessed this Shabad to us, which Sangat Ji is on Ang 685. Dhan Guru Nanak Dev Ji Padshah Ji in Dhanaasaree Rag. Today, starting with the Mangalacharan, the supplication of Ek Oankar Satguru Prasad. Prasad, Sangat Ji, meaning Kirpa, grace. With the grace of the Guru of Truth, can we have realization of that one of Ek? Whilst being amongst this Oang, being amongst this entire creation, before meeting the Guru, we get entangled within this creation. We get entangled within this life, within this world, thinking this is all that there is. Get eluded in thinking that this life is all about accumulating wealth and status. But Sangat Ji, the Guru gives us the realization of what is the truth. The Guru unites us with where everything has come from, that one that is at the core of all of this creation. Gur Sagar Ratni Parpure, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Padshah Ji sharing these beautiful words with us and saying, Gur Sagar, that the Guru is like a sagar, is like an ocean. Gur Sagar Ratni Parpure, and within this sagar, within this ocean, within the ocean of the Guru is what? Ratni Parpure is filled with gems. It's filled with jewels. What jewels? Sangat Ji, the jewels of the Guru's wisdom. Amrit Sant Chuge Nahi Dure. Guru Sahib Ji saying, those that have that inner yearning, those that completely devote themselves to the Guru, what do? Amrit Sant, and those devotees and those that yearn to know the truth. Over here, Guru Sahib Ji referred to them as sants, as saints. What do? Padshah kande Amrit Sant, within this ocean that is filled, that is made from nectar. Because the Guru is nectar, the Guru is Amrit. Kande Amrit Sant Chugaha. What does the Sant do? Chugaha, picks out. Chugaha nahi dure, never remains at distance, never remains far away from the Guru's wisdom. Har ras chog, chugahan prab pava. Kande har ras chog, chugah prab pava. Sangat Ji, as they jog, as they dive deeper into this Bani, eh Bani jo jio jane, this antar rave hukamnaama, as they go deeper and deeper into the word of the Guru, into the Guru's word, what happens? They start to taste that taste of Waheguru, of that one that is sustaining everything, that one that is the truth behind all of this illusion. Har rasa, when they start to feel that, experience that one, when they get to the juice of that one, they sing Har rasa chog chughe prab pave. Then they start to become pleasing to that one. Sarvar mahans pran pat pave. Sarvar mah hans. Satguru Ji say that within this Sarovar, Sangat Ji, how do we access the Guru's wisdom? How do we access these gems, these jewels of wisdom? How do we even get anywhere close to the Guru's ocean? Sache Padshah Ji tell us, they say that you've got to become a Hans. You've got to become that beautiful swan that goes and sits where? That goes and sits in a sarvar, in a sarovar. Sarovar, Sangat Ji, means in that sacred pool. What sacred pool? In that sacred pool of satsang. In the company of the holy, in the company of those that are feeling already there, experiencing that love and that juice of love is flowing inside of them for Waheguru. Being in their company, Paach kende sarvar Mehans, what do you find? Paach saying that what do you find in this sarvar, in this rover, in this sacred pool in satsang? You find hunts in there. You find these beautiful doves, because the doves are pure. The doves are those that are already in love with Waheguruji. That's what you find within that sarovar of satsang. Sarvar mehans pran pat pave. And when we go, Sangatji, when we go to that sarovar, when we go to that satsang, and we sit amongst those swans that are drenched in the love of Waheguru, they will open the door to the Guru's wisdom for us. And in that way, pran pat pave, and then we'll gain that union as well. Then we'll get to meet pran pat, the one that is behind our breath, the one that is actually controlling, the one that is giving us breath, Sangatji. Kya bag bapda chapdi na? Paach is saying that, what about those? There's those people in this world as well that are completely opposite to the swans. Those that aren't drenched in love before that one, and they're just caught up in this world. Paach kende kya bag bapda? Bag Sangatji means a crane. They're saying, but there's those as well in this world that look religious from the outside, wearing religious robes, wearing the religious clothes. Kende bag bapda, kende but that wretched, that poor crane bird. Kende kya bag bapda chapdi na? Kende, what do you expect for that crane bird to actually accomplish by bathing in a chapdi, in a mud pool? We cannot expect that bagad to get clean, bathing in a mud pool. What does it mean to bathe in a mud pool? Even though they might look, there's those that look religious from the outside. But Sangatji, when we look deeper into this, sometimes we get caught out, and we sometimes look at somebody and they deem to be somebody that is spiritual, somebody that is close to God, just because of the way they look from the outside, like that crane bird. Crane bird being white, it closes its eyes, it puts its beak down, but it's waiting for a fish. All it's doing is it's there fishing. It's there waiting to fill its own stomach. It's there only concerned about itself. And Sangatji, sometimes we, seeing these people, get caught up, and we go to these people and then chapdi nae. But Paach is saying it's like bathing in a mud pool. Kende kya? Kende, what are you going to gain out of that? Kende, what kya means, what are you going to gain out of that bapda? Kende, you rich person, kende, you've got caught up amongst these bugale, amongst these that are fake, false. And when you sit amongst them, you're going to end up bathing in mud pool instead. What does it mean to be bathing in mud pool? Sangatji, we see so often today, we see so many people, even that are doing katha, that are supposedly supposed to be doing katha explanations, discourses of the Guru's Bani, the Guru's word, but instead what are they doing? They're speaking from a place of pride, and they're putting other people down. Within katha, where we tell people that let us save ourselves from slander, as it will cause anxiety, but some of those that are actually delivering this word, they are slandering themselves, talking down about others, bringing other people down, making themselves to look to be better. Par sache Paach kende kya bag bapda chapdi na? Kende, but if we end up getting caught up amongst those, kende, it'll be like having a bath in a mud pool, because we'll be bathing in things like slander. Kende kya? What are you going to end up gaining out of that? Nothing. So we've got to be very aware, be very careful, that just because somebody has got the star upon their head, just because somebody is wearing this gatra, got a kirpan on, but it doesn't mean that they are drenched in love for their Guru or even Waheguru. And when they open their mouths, instead of moti, instead of pearls and amrit and nectar pouring out of their mouth, instead, Sangatji, like Guru Ram Das Ji Paach said, they spitting foam of slandering others. So we've got to be aware that we don't end up bathing in that mud pool just because of the way somebody else looks. And we join them and then we join in. So Sache Paatshah ji ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕੀਚੜ ਡੂਬਾ ਮੈਲ ਨਾ ਜਾਏ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕੀਚੜ ਡੂਬਾ. What will happen is we'll end up drowning in that chikkad, in that mud. We'll sink in. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕੀਚੜ ਡੂਬਾ ਮੈਲ ਨਾ ਜਾਏ. Obviously our dirt is not going to be washed away. We sometimes go into this sangat, we go into this company so that we can be washed away from our filth of things like slander. But then what ends up happening? The exact opposite ends up happening. We go and sit amongst them and we fill ourselves with even more filth. We can't wash away filth with filth. Home mehla mal kabhu na dhova. Sangat, it's very important to know that Sangat, when we actually, there's many of people that suffer with things like anxiety. But then they go to help, they go to people that seem to be religious, but all they are doing is slandering other people. And what happens? Their anxiety will actually increase, because Satguru Ji, Sache Paatshah Ji, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, Paatshah Ji has made a link with these two things. This is Prathame Chod Parai Ninda Uttar Gayi Sab Man Ki Chinda. Satguru Ji Paatshah Ji ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਪ੍ਰਥਮੇ ਛੋੜ ਪਰਾਈ ਨਿੰਦਾ. ਆਓ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਪੰਕਤੀਆਂ ਕੱਢ ਹੀ ਲਈਏ. ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਥਮੇ ਛੋੜ ਪਰਾਈ ਨਿੰਦਾ ਉਤਰ ਗਈ ਸਭ ਮਨ ਕੀ ਚਿੰਦਾ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ the first thing that we've got to do on this path, if we want to go into that path of Anand, of where we experience that ultimate bliss within inside of us. The steps towards that is on the outside. What we've got to do is prathame chod. Prathame means first. First what do we do? Parai chod. We let go of parai ninda, slandering others. Uttar gayi sab man ki chinda. In that way, our anxieties of the mind will start to wash away, start to become dispelled. Sangat ji, Satguru Ji Paatshah Ji, Kichar dooba mail na jaye rahao. Paatshah saying, contemplate this. Many of us might be thinking that we've gone into the right place, but I still feel awful. I still feel drained. If we're feeling drained, then have a little think. Contemplate. What type of conversations have been taking place there? Even if it's one person giving out discourse. If you're not feeling light after coming out there, maybe this is what's happened to us. Satguru Ji Paatshah saying, kende asank nindak sir karhe par. Paatshah Ji saying that there's a possibility, maaf karna, Das no baksha dena. Sangat Ji, not a possibility. The Guru's word is the truth, absolute truth. Kende asank nindak. Paatshah saying there's countless of nindaks, of slanderers within this world. Kende sera, what do? Kende karhe par. They're putting weight upon their head. And asal vich pyareo, ma har samay ehi ek gal aakhda hunna je ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਉਹ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੁੱਖਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਬਚਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ. ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਾਤਾ ਪਿਤਾ ਨੇ. ਤੂੰ ਮਾਤ ਪਿਤਾ ਹਮ ਬਾਰਿਕ ਤੇਰੇ, ਤੁਮਰੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਮਹਿ ਸੂਖ ਕਨੇਰੇ. ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, that we say to Sadhguru Ji, ਤੂੰ ਗੁਰ ਪਿਤਾ ਹੈ, ਦੇ ਮਤ ਸਮਝਾਏ. हम बारिक, आओ कढ़ लिए पंक्तियां संगत जी. हम बारिक तू गुर पिता है, दे मत समझाए. पाच कहते हम बारिक, मैं तो एक बच्चा हाँ, I'm the still child, but तू गुर पिता है, but you are my Guru Father. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਦੇ ਮਤ ਸਮਝਾਏ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ give me your mat, give me your wisdom, and so that I can have that understanding of this world, of how to go about in this world, because this is my state. hum bhool vigade din se raat, because I make mistakes day and night. ਮੇਰਾ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਹਾਲ ਆ ਕਿ ਹਮ ਭੂਲ ਵਿਗਾੜ ਹੈ, ਹਮ ਭੂਲ that I forget my way. ਵਿਗਾੜੇ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਹੈ ਹੀ ਵਿਗੜਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ. I'm completely a mess. ਹਮ ਭੂਲ ਵਿਗਾੜੇ ਦਿਨ ਸਰਾਤ, ਦਿਨ ਨਾਲੇ ਰਾਤ, throughout the day, night, all the time. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਰ ਲਾਜ ਰਖਾਏ, but save my honor. हे ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ, ਹਮ ਬਾਰਕ ਤੂੰ ਗੁਰ ਪਿਤਾ ਹੈ, ਦੇ ਮਤ ਸਮਝਾਏ, but give me your wisdom and take me through this life that is filled with challenges, but stay with me at all times and keep me in your godi, keep me in your embrace and keep me in your laps. ਜਨ ਨਾਨਕ ਦਾਸ ਹਰ ਕਾਂਡਿਆ, ਹਰ ਪੈਚ ਰਖਾਏ. ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਆਓ ਵਾਪਸ ਆਈਏ. ਪਾਚ ਜੀ ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕੀਚੜ ਡੂਬੇ ਮੈਲ ਨਾ ਜਾਏ. ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਮੈਲ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਭਰੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ. We are filled with mal, we're filled with these impurities, and we sit with people and then we join in putting even more weight upon our head. Rakh 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 charan ਧਰੇ ਵਿਚਾਰੀ. ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਰੱਖ ਰੱਖ, place your feet very carefully, watching, remain watching every step that you take in life. Every moment you're about to speak, speak with awareness, with watching yourself, with that from that place of pure awareness. As you're about to speak, contemplate. And Sangat ji, the more and more our Guru's Bani is instilled inside of our heart, this will all become automatic. As we speak, we will be watching what we speak. It will all be within the Guru's wisdom. We won't speak any words from pride. We won't speak any words from ego, from I am, main kita, mere karke, because of me. ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੋਇਆ, ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਗਿਆ, ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਗਿਆ. It's because of me he learned. It was because of me he got there. Forgetting about grace. ਕਿਰਪਾ ਨੂੰ ਭਲਾਈ ਦੇਣਾ ਕਿ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਹੈ ਜਿਹਦੀ ਸ਼ਕਤੀ ਵਰਤ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ. ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, there is somebody else at play whose power is infused within everything. ਰੱਖ ਰੱਖ ਚਰਨ ਧਰੇ ਵਿਚਾਰੀ. I'm placing my feet so consciously now. I'm watching even my thoughts that come. If those thoughts, Sangaji, you can watch your thoughts. And then vichari, you've got the Guru's wisdom in you. The moment a thought comes of, and it's ill, it's an ill thought towards somebody, you can watch it and you can let it go. Because you know that's not what I need inside of me. That's not going to get me anywhere near to my jodh, to that light inside of me. Rakh rakh charan dhare vichari. Wherever I go now, I go consciously accordingly to my Guru's wisdom. Sangat ji, dubda chod pe nirankari. Paach ji saying dubda chod, when I let go of that duality, What happened? Pe nirankari. All that was left then, I then became the devotee of that formless. Mukt padarth har ras chakhe. Sangat ji, when I started to feel, when I started to experience the taste of Vaheguru Ji, Mukt padarth, as I started to experience Vaheguru Ji, what happened? I was given the gift of mukti, of liberation, of freedom. Avan jan rehe gur rakhe, and then my Guru protected me from that cycle of coming and going, birth and death. Sarvar hansa chhod na jaye. A Hans is that swan never lets go of that sacred pool, always remains in that pure company. Prem Bhagat Kar Sahaj Samaye. Sangat ji, with that prema bhakti, with that love-filled devotion, Kar Sahaj. Prema Bhagat Kar Bhakti Karke, Prema Bhakti Karke, with that love-filled devotion, what happened? Sahaj Samaye. I then just effortlessly Samai absorbed and merged with that one. Sarvar mein Hans, Pahachi saying that a Hans is that sits amongst that Sarvar, that sacred pool of Satsangat. Hans mein Sagar, but a Hans is that has the whole, that has the ocean of the Guru's wisdom inside of them. That's who a true swan is. Akat Katha Gurbachani Adar Sangat ji, when that devotee, when that one that is yearning, when that disciple, when that Sikh, Sangat ji honors their Guru's bachan, their Guru's word, and what happens? Akat Katha, they start to then experience that one that is beyond any description. Sun Mandal ek jogi baise. Path is saying there are very few and rare yogis that go and sit in that actual place. Yogi here, Sangat ji, isn't just a yogi that practices yoga. This is talking about those that are on that path to union. But there are only very few true yogis that actually go and go and sit where? Go and sit in that place of Sun Mandala, in that realm of absolute silence, where there is only the existence of that ek, of one, where there is no duality. Sun Mandal ek jogi baise, nar na purkh kaho kau kaise. When you, Sangat ji, go to that place, when you go and sit in that realm, in that place, you cannot say what you are. You cannot say whether you are a man, whether you are a lady. You are in that place which is beyond any form, any gender. Now you, Sangat ji, what do? You remain absorbed and connected to what? Tripavan Jot, that Jot, that light that is immersed amongst the three worlds. Swarnarnath, Sache, Sharanai. What are those three worlds? Those three worlds, Sangat ji, are within that state of Sur, where the Devate, where those deities actually exist. You refer to them as the godly beings. And those are referring to those that are in Satoguna, in the higher attribute of that one, the higher quality of that one. Sangat ji, that Tripavan Jot, that light, we become absorbed in that light that is amongst those that are Sur, that are Devate, who have got now Dibya Drishti. Those that, Sangat ji, that are enlightened from inside, that are beautiful natured giving beings. And then there's that Jot inside of those, and amongst the Nar, Sangat ji, are human beings that Don't deceive anyone in life. Live fairly. Live honestly. Just get on with their life. They don't better the world in any way. They don't help. They might not go out of their way to better somebody else's life, but they don't go around destroying anybody's life as well. That jot is sitting in that world, meaning within those people as well. Nath Sangat Ji, those that, even though the yogis that sit and meditate, even those that, the meditators, the jot is amongst them as well, within that world too. Sache Sharanai, Surnarnath, Sache Sharanai, all these three different people that are from different walks of life, but they are all in the sanctuary of that Sacha, of that true Waheguru Ji and Sangat Ji. That when we go to that place of Son Mandal, and then in that Son Mandal, Sangat Ji, that jot that is amongst the three worlds, we immerse within that jot. When we immerse within that jot, within that light, then we don't discriminate against anyone, whether it be a sur, whether it be a devta. We don't look up at them. Because if we look up at someone, we look down at someone. We don't put anyone on a pedestal to be up there. We don't put anyone down. Because then I'll have to say you are lower. But actually we see then in that avastha, we see everyone equal. We see the same light amongst everyone. Anand Mool, Anath Adari, Sangat Ji. Those that were anath, those that didn't have anyone, those that were masterless, that light became their support. Who is what? Who is Anand Mool? Who is the root of Anand? Whose origin is Anand, is bliss. Gurmukh Bhagat Sahaj Bichari, Paatshah Ji saying here, Gurmukh Bhagat. A Gurmukh, a Guru-centered being is that through their bhakti, through their devotion, Gurmukh Bhagat Sahaj Bichari, Sangat Ji, Sahaj Bichari, they reach that place of Sahaj. Or we can put it this way, somebody that is completely devoted to their Guru, what happens is, Sahaj, effortlessly, they become a Bichari. They become Vicharvan. They become contemplators, meaning that whatever they do in life, whatever action they do in life, it comes from a deeper place from within. They're not just acting out of their subconscious mind. And now it's coming from that true inner intuitiveness, that it's coming from that true inner Guru, that inner wisdom, that universal intelligence. It comes from that place, from that deep inner contemplation, acting from that place. That Waheguru Ji is the lover of bhakti, of devotion. That one, whoever devotes themselves, he cuts away, that one cuts away fear. Haume maar mile pagta he, Sangat Ji, haume maar. When we get rid of this ego, when we destroy this ego, what will happen? Haume maar mile pagta he. Then we'll actually get to meet Waheguru Ji when we get rid of this haume, rid of this ego. And then what will happen? Pag means Sangat Ji, feet. But the feet of that one, tare, then God will place, that one will place their feet within our heart. Anek jatan karkal santaye. And Sangat Ji, those that remained centered around their own mind and didn't go anywhere beyond their just thought. They remained bound to their memory. I didn't go to their core, to that place of sun. Sangat Ji, what happens to them? No matter how much they try within their own head to escape, that thought of time is running out of Kal being bound to time. Kende what happens to those? Kende Kal santaye. And what happens? Kende Kal then time starts to torture them. They're constantly anxious that time is running out. But somebody that is sitting in that sun with that one, there is no such thing as time over there, Sangat Ji. There is nothing to run out. There's nothing that starts and there's nothing that ends. You're just in that place that always was and always will be. Maran likhaye mandal meh aaye. No matter how much we try and escape, whilst living within the, being centered around this mind, being bound to these memories and being stuck within our just thought, then those, yes, death will torture them, because for those, then maran likhaye, death has already been scribed, that this body and mind will come to an end one day. Mandal meh aaye, before even coming into this world, it was already decided that this body will leave this world one day. Janam padarth dubda khova. Maaf karna, let me reword that so it's more accurate. Man likhaye mandal meh aaye. Before even coming into this body, it was already determined that it's already there amongst Waheguruji's law of creation, that this body is not going to remain in this form. One day what's gonna happen to it? Panch tat ko tan milyo, jan ho chatur sajan, jehte upjyo nanka leenta hai mehman. It's gonna go and merge back in with the other elements that it's come from. Janam padarth dubda khova. Those that are centered around the mind, that don't manage to come out of their head and remain stuck just within that mandal, within that realm of just the realm of thought. Thought is just bound to our memory. Memory is bound to our senses. Janam padarth dubda khova. And what happens then? Remaining in duality, they lose. Dubda means duality. Khova, they lose what? This beautiful gift. Padarth means gift. They lose the gift of Janam, this beautiful life. Apna chinas pram rova. Pachi saying, who does that happen to? What does it mean to remain in duality? It means that apana chinas, it means not recognizing. Chinas means to recognize, or we could say realizing ourself, our true self. And then what happens? Pram, we remain wondering, lost, rove, and then crying and suffering over what happens within this realm, what happens to this body, what happens with our relatives. उन्हों ने किसी ने बुलाया, कोई इतना रुस गया, कोई कुछ हो गया. संगत जी, कह तो पढ़ तो सुन तो एक. But Sangat Ji, what does it mean reaching that place of Brahm Gyan, reaching that place of complete sun and ek, then even though remaining amongst this world, and then what happens? Keh to. And Sangat Ji, whenever somebody says something, they're able to see where it's coming. Who is the power behind that to make that person have the ability to speak? It's that one. Padto, Sangat Ji, whatever, koi pama kuch kenda hove, kuch padda hove, somebody's reading something out, they can see the one behind whatever somebody is doing. Sunato. If somebody is listening, if they are listening, they are aware of the one that is behind. The one that is behind, that even makes listening possible. The one that gives us the ability to listen. Sangat Ji, go to that place where it's just sun mandal ek jogi baise. Dheeraj dharam tarani dhar tek. These Sangat Ji, these guru-centered beings, those that are Gurmukhs, those that are sants, can they what take? What is their support in life? Their support in life is Dheeraj. They live within this world, within this realm of this world with what? Dheeraj, with patience. Dharam. Sangat ji, that is their dharam. That is their discipline in their life. They live with dheeraj, with being completely steadfast. And then they say, dheeraj dharam dharani dhar. Their take is the one that is the take. Their support is the one that is the support. And that has brought this entire creation into being. Jat sat sanjam hriday samaye. Jat sat sanjam hriday samaye. Their hearts are filled with jat. Jat Sangat ji means eka nari jati hoye. Par nari thi bhain vakhane, who are completely dedicated to just one partner. Jati eka nari. Sangat ji, somebody that when they are married, they completely devote and give themselves to their partner. That's a jati. And somebody that is unmarried, Sangat ji, they look upon all as their mothers and daughters. And the women, they look upon all as their fathers and brothers and sons. That is a jati, Sangat ji. One that gets married, they see everybody in that light. Everybody else for them is a sister, is a brother, is a father, is a mother, is a daughter, is a son. And their dedication is towards their partner. Devotion is towards their partner. They won't have any other intimate, be it sexual relationships outside of that marriage. That's a jati. That's what is then instilled deep into their heart, these values, these ways. Sat. Sangat ji, here Sat is referring to being sati. Jati and sati. Sati, Sangat ji, means to live a life filled with purity. In which way? And Pach say in this way, by being in sanjam. Sanjam means having self-control of all of your senses. Hriday samaye, that is what is instilled deep inside of their heart, these ways of living. Chauthe pad kao je man pati aaye. Who is it that goes to that place, Sangat ji? It's those that reach that place of Chautha pad. Chautha pad, Sangat ji, referring to je man pati aaye, means that whose now minds aren't bound now to the Tragun, to the three qualities that make up this creation. Rajo, Tamo, Sato. They've gone beyond these qualities. They are now not bound to their karma. They've gone to that place, that stillness. Sun mandal ek jogi baise. They're now being able to watch over everything. Sache nirmal merna laga. Paching sache nirmal Mehla na lage. By meeting that satcha, by being with that one that is the ultimate truth, they become immaculate, they become pure. Nirmal, they become beyond any form of blemish. Mehla na laga, and no other accumulation of, they cannot now accumulate any more dirt. Because they've broken out of the cycle of karma. Now they are in complete awareness and they use their karma. Karma is just past experiences. Now they're able to use it instead of it using them. Now they use it to live life with more awareness. Gur ka shabd param pao bhaga. Gur ka shabd param pao bhaga. Through the Guru Shabd, all param, all doubts, all fears, bhaga, have now run away. Surat Murat Adi Anup. And Sangat ji, where has my Guru Shabd taken me? Where has my Guru's word taken me? It's taken me to that Surati. Surati means, Sangat ji, to that one that is the form of beauty. Because anything that gives us anand, gives us that bliss, is beautiful. Murt, to that Murti Sangaji, to the one that is the image of what? Of Adi. Ad. Ad meaning Sangaji, pronounce it as Ad, but the word comes from Adi. Jada has always been there from the beginning. There's never been a time when that one has not existed. Nanak jacha sach saroop. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Pach Ji putting themselves within this, saying that me Nanak jache, I beg for what? For me to be with that one that is Sach, is the truth. Is to be with that one that has always been and is always going to be. Instead of me allowing my emotions to be taken on a roller coaster, instead of me allowing my emotions to be taken on a roller coaster because I have become entangled within this world, within the people of this world, with my relatives, with my family, allowing them to control my emotions. That's why I come to you, I come before you. Sangat Ji, let's all do this ardas. Let's all beg Waheguru Ji Saroop that we can be a part of that Sach, that truth, where there is no more roller coasters, and we are in that place of absolute stillness. Nanak jacha sach saroop. Sangat Ji, let's beg for Waheguru Ji to take us in, so that way we can free ourselves from being on those roller coasters. Waheguru Ji ka